Welcome to one of the fastest growing sports YouTube channels out there, Gold and Blue Dude. And I'm hearing a lot of chatter that West Virginia should actually stay in the new Big 12 rather than going over to the ACC. Thought that was an interesting debate. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Gold and Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day. While you're here, go check out my good friends at tristatewoodsketch.com. All you have to do is send them a picture and they'll transfer it onto wood. They do coasters, pictures of all shapes and sizes, great family photos, and if you're willing to spend a little bit extra, something amazing like this. So go on over and check out tristatewoodsketch.com, mention Gold and Blue Dude, and you'll get 20% off. If you do an order by phone and mention Gold and Blue Dude, you'll get 30% off. I'll leave his phone number in the description of this video. Quick reminder about my score prediction contest. Every single week, I'm picking out one game and a tiebreaker game that I'm having you guys guess the score of, and whoever comes the closest wins the prize. Right now, I have it at $20 a week. You don't have to wait till the end of the season. This is every week. If I get enough Patreons and I'm close, I can bump that up to $50 a week. All you have to do is go over to my Patreon page, join my Patreon page, and boom, you're eligible. If you join the $4.99, you get one guest prediction per week. If you join the $9.99, you get two guest predictions per week. And if you join the $19.99, you get 4 guest predictions per week. And you can win more than once, so you can win a lot of money if you think you're good at guessing scores. And at the end of the year, whoever wins the most weeks out of the entire year is actually going to get a plaque from Gold and Blue Dude naming you the champion. So bragging rights are on the line. This week's game is number 12 Oregon at number 3 Ohio State. And the tiebreaker game is number 10 Iowa at number 9 Iowa State. So make sure you include the prediction for that game as well in case we need a tiebreaker. Today we're talking about the new Big 12 versus the ACC and where West Virginia should go. A lot of West Virginia fans are saying, hold on, Gold and Blue Dude. Now that the Big 12 is expanding, I think West Virginia should stay. So today I wanted to do a checklist for both these conferences to see which one really is the best choice. Now, if West Virginia were to stay in the Big 12, here's what it would look like. First of all, I think they would go to divisions. And second of all, I think it would be East and West. So in the West, I think it would be Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Texas Tech, and BYU. In the East, it would be West Virginia, Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, Iowa State, and TCU. Without West Virginia, here's how the ACC looks. In the Coastal, Virginia Tech, Pitt, Miami of Florida, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Duke, and Virginia. In the Atlantic, we have Clemson, Syracuse, Boston College, Louisville, Florida State, NC State, and Wake Forest. And possibly Notre Dame. Notre Dame cannot join any other conference besides the ACC before 2036. So if Notre Dame were to join a conference before 2036, it'd have to be the ACC. Alright, now the checklist. The first thing on the checklist is money. And this one could actually go to the Big 12 with a question mark. I'm not sure how the new TV deal is going to look, but it could be more than the ACC. So just for argument's sake, I'm actually going to give the Big 12 the check mark in that area. Next up, stability. Well, the Big 12 has already lost Oklahoma and Texas. Yes, they're expanding, but 10 years ago, they also went through some fluctuation. The Big 12 is not really stable at all. What about the ACC? Well, all they've done is add teams. They haven't really lost teams, unless you want to count Maryland, which, not really. So for stability, the check mark is firmly on the side of the ACC. What about geography? Well, adding Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston helps West Virginia, but the ACC is definitely better for West Virginia when it comes to geography. I mean, they're right smack dab in the middle of the ACC, whether it's the Coastal or Atlantic. In the Big 12, they would have to be in the East. If they were put in the West, they would be screwed. In the ACC, they would fit in both divisions. Doesn't matter which one. What about built-in rivalries? Okay, well, for the Big 12, you have Cincinnati. That's a pretty good rivalry, but only one. For the ACC, you have Virginia Tech, Pitt, Miami, Syracuse, Boston College, and Louisville. Actually, 3 in the Coastal and 3 in the Atlantic. 6 altogether. Way more built-in rivalries in the ACC. The ACC definitely gets the check mark there. What about name recognition? The Big 12 does have some decent names. I mean, in basketball, Kansas is a very big name. In football, Oklahoma State, maybe. Cincinnati coming, UCF. Iowa State is decent. TCU maybe. But in the ACC, Clemson, of course, number 1. But you also have North Carolina. You have Miami. And I hate to admit it, Pitt. Florida State, I know they're down. Name recognition is there. Louisville, even Virginia Tech. I know, I hate saying it. And for basketball, I don't even have to mention any names. The entire ACC has name recognition in basketball. People forget about the basketball element. That's important too. So for name recognition, the check mark goes to the ACC for sure. And finally, recruiting. Which conference would have recruiting advantage? Well, let's look at the Big 12. In the West, Kansas, the number 75, Kansas State 68, Oklahoma State 34th, Baylor 30th, that's not bad, Texas Tech 79th, BYU 72nd. In the East, West Virginia actually has the best class. This is 2022, by the way. They actually have the best class in the entire Big 12. 23rd, Cincinnati 32nd, UCF 48th, Houston 94th, Iowa State 27th, and TCU 62nd. For the ACC, Virginia Tech 18th, Pitt 54th, Miami 44th, North Carolina 13th, Georgia Tech 31st, Duke 45th, Virginia 52nd, Clemson 11th, Syracuse 59th, Boston College 24th, Louisville 78th, Florida State 10th, NC State 49th, and Wake Forest 55th. You can look at it both ways. Oh, it will be way more competitive in the ACC and tougher to get recruits. Not really. That's not how it works. The way I look at it is recruits would rather go to the ACC. And as a West Virginia brand, they would get to play in front of their family more often instead of having to travel out west. I mean, sure, Cincinnati is close. UCF kind of close. Houston, But in the ACC, you could pretty much play in front of your family at any given venue. It wouldn't be very far at all. So the check mark would definitely go to the ACC. So the overall score, the ACC, 5 check marks. The Big 12, just 1 check mark. Yeah, I still think the best choice for West Virginia would be the ACC. Look, 10 years ago, we made the mistake of going with the money. West Virginia had an offer from the ACC. A lot of people don't realize that. We did, but the Big 12 had a better offer, and that's what we went with. That was a mistake. The Big 12 is not stable. Sure, they're bringing in some good names, but it's not stable at all, and they're at risk of losing their Power 5 status. The right choice here is going to the ACC. And yes, the ACC is interested with West Virginia. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.